3-on-3. Ball scuttled away. Mills with the chance. Mills with the goal! Kyla Mills puts Bumpy pitch into the final. Lindsay Harris thinking about it, driving, finds Della Rose. Della Rose wins it for the U.S. women, and they'll be playing for $1 million again tomorrow night. TST 2025 began with 64 teams across 2 brackets. We played 132 games in the searing Carolina heat over the last 5 days, and now there are just 2 games left and 2 separate $1 million checks to hand out over the next couple hours. Let's take a look at the bracket presented by RBC Wealth Management. As we'll see the finalists on the women's side of the TST 2025 bracket. We got the U.S. women, the defending champs, who beat Reunion City Dallas 2-0 in yesterday's semifinal. They'll be playing Bumpy Pitch women, who squeaked past All Train FC 2-1 in another Sunday semifinal. Welcome into Cary, North Carolina, Wake Med Soccer Park alongside Hercules Gomez. I'm Sebastian Salazar. Herc, we have been doing this tournament each of the 3 years that it's been in existence. It just keeps getting bigger and better. Yeah, the talent level's off the charts. The first year, it's a feel-out process. The second year, we're getting started now. You can see they've really dominated the dimensions, and the true ballers are here. All right, let's check out some, speaking of ballers, players to watch, courtesy of soccer.com. You've really gone outside the box here. For the U.S. women, Herc, you've chosen Carly Lloyd. Heard of her?
It's a final, Seb. It's a final. And if I know anything is, I'm not betting against Carly Lloyd to score in a final. This is what she does. She's made for the big moment. 42 years old, but she still knows what it takes at the highest of levels.
Scored, of course, 3 in that 2015 World Cup final against Japan. For Bumpy Pitch, you've picked out Taylor Suarez.
When we speak about ballers, the future, Taylor Suarez, U20 youth national team player, placed 3rd in that World Cup she participated in. She's got 4 goals, 1 assist. Every single game that she's played in, it's a goal or an assist in this tournament.
Part of that very strong Florida State contingent on this Bumpy Pitch squad. All right, why don't we take a look back and a listen to last year's final winning goal for this U.S. women's team.
On the field, 3 very creative players with pace. Courage, have to be very careful.
And this could be it. U.S. women for the million! Pay these women their money! They're taking home $1 million! Good memories, huh, Herc?
Oh, brilliant memories. It was just as hot back then. That's all I remember.
I think you see exactly what it means to these players, whether they've lifted a World Cup or not. Maybe they're just at the beginning of the careers. Winning a game, a tournament where there's $1 million on the line, Herc. I mean, that must be just so magnificent. You can imagine what's going through their minds right now.
Massive carrot dangling in front of them, but it's about competition. It's about proving you belong. And these ladies tonight will do that.
U.S. women looking to defend their title, taking on Bumpy Pitch women here at TST 2025. $1 million going to the winner. Let's send it down to the field now at Wake Med Soccer Park here in Cary, North Carolina, for the playing of the national anthem.
And now, we ask all those that are able to please rise and remove your caps for the performance of our national anthem. Performing tonight's national anthem, please welcome Durham native Lee Rodeo.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallant gently streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? And the home of the brave.
Not every day in American soccer you get a military flyover. How about that? When we return, we're playing for $1 million. This is TST on ESPN. The soccer tournament is presented by RBC Wealth Management, the official wealth management partner of TST. The soccer tournament is presented by RBC Wealth Management, the official wealth management partner of TST. Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of TST 2025 from Cary, North Carolina. We are minutes away from kickoff, from the $1 million championship final between the defending champs, U.S. Women, and the team from Bumpy Pitch FC. Get you caught up quickly on the rules. We do play 7-on-7, so it's a much smaller field. 20-minute half, no offside or throw-ins. You must advance the ball every 8 seconds, so no standing on the ball. And every match ends in what we call target score time. Basically, at the end of a regulation, You take the winning team's total and you add 1 to it. That becomes the target score. Whichever team gets to that first wins. And in the case of tonight's game, we'll take home a $1 million check. Hercules Gomez, Sebastian Salazar with you from Wake Med Soccer Park as the U.S. plays in their dark blue kit going right to left on your screen. Bumpy Pitch FC in their beige and let's call it maroon kits going left to right. U.S. working down the right flank. With the cross and only half cleared by Bumpy Pitch. Katie Johnson there wearing the 33 for Bumpy Pitch up top. U.S. born but former Mexican international. Long career in the NWSL, most recently playing for Angel City last year. Herc, you and I did a hit for ESPN FC just a couple hours ago. We were previewing this game. Sir. I asked you who you thought might have the edge. You actually went with a team that I don't think is most people's favorite. That's U.S. Women. You said Bumpy Pitch might have the edge. Why?
Well, you see the U.S. Women and what it took to beat Reunion City Dallas. Excuse me. There it goes. Reunion City Dallas. Very physically exhausting game. It took a toll on them. They're a little on the older side. And this Bumpy Pitch team, they were fresh. They routed their team. This is a team that knows exactly what they're trying to do with the ball. It's a team that stayed fresh. They're playing against a team with some tired legs, but you can never count out the U.S. women, now with the playmakers they have.
Tessa Della Rose, one of those playmakers wearing the number 34 on the ball there. She was the MVP of this tournament 1 year ago, one of many players with a UNC connection. This number 7 player is definitely one to watch. Bella Devi for the U.S.
Yeah, she's been very good, very bright.
2 goals, 2 assists already throughout the tournament.
She's everywhere. She's just everywhere.
And she's a youngster, you know, basically like a high school age kid playing with this U.S. women's national team, some of the legends of the game. Players like Carly Lloyd, Allie Krieger, Heather O'Reilly. And when you talk to those players and you're like, hey, who's standing out? We heard Alexis Nunes do some of the interviews. It's Bella. And for that player, a player of that age, with some of the best college players in the country playing in this tournament, some of the legends of the game playing in this tournament, everybody's been impressed with her.
You know, you've got players who've won World Cups. You've got legends, actual living legends of the game. And when you ask them who impresses you, they're telling you it's her. They're telling you she's the one that impresses. So it speaks volumes to, you know, how she's been able to adapt to this setting and her ethic, her work ethic in front of those type of players.
0-0 here, just 3 minutes in. This is the championship final on the women's side of the bracket. Bumpy Pitch women taking on the defending champs. Kat Whitehill wearing the number 4. Player with a ton of experience with the senior national team, and another player again with those University of North Carolina connections. Lots of UNC connections with this U.S. women's national team. Lots of Florida State connections with this team from Bumpy Pitch. Also a lot of players, Herc, that were part of that U.S. under-20 team that played in the under-20 World Cup last fall and finished 3rd.
A lot of good young players here, Seb. They know what it takes to play at this level. They've been playing with each other. It's a good recognition, familiarity with one another. It's a dangerous team, but the U.S. women, anytime they've been maybe counted out in this tournament, just resolve, just the personality they show to come back.
Speaking of personality, how about their goalie, Lindsay Harris? Again, another player with UNC ties. She was the Golden Glove of the tournament last year, and if they win it again, you got to think she's going to be lifting another Golden Glove. She was so good in that semifinal yesterday. And, oh, by the way, had the game-winning assist.
That's right. She was brilliant. She's the reason the U.S. women are in this final. She was massive. And that's what you want from a goalkeeper. When you need them to come up with a big save, they got to come up with a big save. She came up with many.
Speaking of goalies, a goalie switch here for Bumpy Pitch from what we saw yesterday. It's Tegan Y, who was the starting goalie for that aforementioned U.S. team in the under-20 World Cup. She plays at Cal. She takes the place of Shu Oba, who was awesome yesterday for Bumpy Pitch, a player who, also a college player, plays at Ole Miss, but has had one cap with the senior national team of Japan. So they got two pretty good goalies, this Bumpy pitch team, if they need them.
Yeah, they've got to be wary of Olivia Thomas. She is a handful up there.
Nice ball work out of the back. Here's Ryder Ajeto, another player who's still in the high school ranks. One of the cool things of this tournament, and we see it a lot, maybe predominantly here on the women's side of the bracket, you've got literal high schoolers playing against somebody like Carly Lloyd, who dropped a hat trick in a World Cup final, and you just wonder what, for those players playing with or against, that might mean. Chance here for the U.S. women, but in the end, it's Tegan Y out to collect.
Yeah, that was very well done by Alex Kimball. She brings this down, orientated pass to herself, right there, a little deflection, but that's what you want if you're going to be direct. Orientated pass, get into the lane, and she was very good at it.
Big time defensive intervention there from Elise Evans. Another player from the college ranks, plays for Stanford. U.S. women's team, as you mentioned, beat Reunion City Dallas in yesterday's semifinal. They beat Street Ball Canada 5-2 in the quarterfinal. That was actually a rematch of last year's championship. Bumpy pitch beating All Train FC yesterday, and in the quarters before that, Austin Rise FC. Olivia Thomas there battling down low. It's a player who's had some success in this tournament, 3 goals already, and she's a big target up front for the U.S. women.
She's a massive target. She does so well bringing the ball down. She's physically imposing. You saw how that caused a lot of problems in the semifinal for Reunion City. They didn't really know how to deal with that imposing physical player up front, and she made a difference for sure.
Six and a half minutes down here in the first half of the $1 million championship final. TST 2025. U.S. women looking to make it back-to-back years where they go home with the trophy and the check. Bumpy pitch women looking to play spoiler. Carly Lloyd. We mentioned the goals in finals. Of course, we talked about the hat trick against Japan in 2015, 2008 gold medal final, scores your game winner. 2012 Olympic gold medal final, same story. 316 caps for Carly Lloyd over an amazing 16-year run with the national team.
I don't think there's anybody more individually decorated at the national team level in U.S. history on both sides. You think about what she's done in big games, big moments, what she's been able to achieve. I don't think it's even close.
I'm with you on the moments. I mean, there's nobody with more big moments than Carly Lloyd. Maybe we'll get another one here. Nice through ball.
Oh, beautifully done.
Picks out Casey Lloyd. Cross comes in from Tessa Della Rose.
That's not an easy ball that Casey Lloyd got, and the ability outside the foot, just play it back like that. That was very well done.
Great turnout here in Cary. We've been to this tournament the last 3 years, Herc, and it grows every year, but this is just the first of 2 games tonight. We've already about got a full house. That's Casey Lloyd dragging her shot wide.
It's a great turnout. The people in Cary, they love their footy.
Yeah,
they really
do.
Come out, they support. It's a great crowd. They're a knowledgeable fan base, which I love. They recognize good football, good soccer, good on them. And they keep coming out. They keep showing their support.
Long ball here from Anielka Brown, one of the many college players for this Bumpy pitch women's side. Scotland Antonucci there wearing the number 26. Tried to pick out Gianna Riley, who's been one of the stars for Bumpy pitch. 5 goals so far this tournament, but she's stuffed just outside the U.S. box.
Yeah, but you can see how they try to find Gianna Riley. Gianna Riley's not just a goal scorer. She's a very good playmaker. She loves playing off of people. You can see them all beautifully done. I'll take that one.
Scotland Antonucci showing us something special right there. Again, that's a high schooler, folks. A high schooler with some U.S. youth national team on her resume, to be fair, but still.
Yes, youth national team, but that was a massive move.
Good friend and colleague Allie Krieger into the game now. This could be trouble, though, for the U.S. women. Big tackle there, and the red, white, and blue are pouring forward. Could there be a chance here? No, another key intervention from Anielka Brown. Oh, no. Casey Lloyd on the doorstep had a chance. Kind of an awkward volley, an awkward height for it, and that effort not going to beat Tegan Y.
Yeah, Kate Fauci. And then it was Lloyd there with the opportunity. You can see it just kind of falls to her. doesn't really know how to hit that, doesn't hit it the cleanest of ways.
Another chance here perhaps for the U.S. Brilliant left-footed shot. What a save by Y. Tessa De La Rose testing the goalie.
Well, that's a beautiful save. You mentioned a goalkeeper change. Maybe they knew something we did. That is a beautiful reaction save. It's a beautiful shot by De La Rose. And
Hits it clean, huh?
Yeah, very clean. Tegan White, a little bit of...
Oh, golazo! Tessa De La Rose will not be denied! And the U.S. women lead 1-0!
Well, here we are talking De La Rose up. It's a beautiful ball in. Nobody, weak side defending right there, lacking. De La Rose gets in very bravely.
Wow.
Diving header.
Golazo.
That's one for the books. Look at that. That'll be in the highlight reel, no doubt. Tegan White can do nothing about that. U.S. women are up.
And you can see she's already got something stuffed up her nose, so she's taking a beating, but delivering a goal here for the U.S. women, and a huge one at that. One that, when it's all said and done, may well be worth at least some portion of $1 million. All right, let's send it down right now to the third member of our broadcast crew, Alexis Nunes, standing by on the U.S. women's bench. Alexis?
Yeah, thanks, guys. I've got Jill Lloyden here with me. I had to grab her because things are getting tense over here, but you guys got the opening goal. How much pressure does that take off of you?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge for us because we can now keep possession a little bit more, be a little bit more patient, a little more calm, let them come out. Yeah, just make sure we don't concede possession close to goal.
She was asking me if she's allowed to say naughty words in case they get scored on, but let's hope it doesn't lead to that, because I do have to ask you about Lindsay Harris. What an absolute game she played yesterday.
Oh, she was incredible. I mean, save after save after save, point blank save to keep us in the match, and then obviously the assist, the bravery to come up, the intention to play Tessa that so she could quickly shoot it. I mean, she was me player of the match.
And then talk to me as well about how you guys prepared for this game. How are the bodies feeling? Because you guys, you pushed it. You pushed it yesterday. And I know I was speaking to our colleague Ali Krieger too, and she was like, oh, straight into the pool. We need to relax because Bumpy Pitch has some young guns on their team.
Yeah, I mean, Heather Riley's incredible. She put this whole thing together. She's been the best leader and great inspirer. She's got ice tubs at her house, pools, flushes, massages, every single thing that we could ever want for our old bodies to be able to recover and come back out here. Today I feel like I drank a little bit too much caffeine, or it could be the World Cup final. I'm not really sure.
Well, I love that. I've heard and I've seen Katha O'Reilly, and I know it's someplace. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alexis. And hi, Jill. You know, I do some work for Ion, covering the NWSL. Jill Lloyden, part of our broadcast team. So she was actually part of this tournament last week, then flew to Florida to be part of our NWSL coverage on Saturday, missed the action Saturday, flew back here on Sunday to rejoin the team. So she's fully committed.
I can relate to her pain.
What, working with me?
Yes, sir. By the way, she's got ice tubs at the house? What time are we heading over?
I know, exactly. We need to get that invite. We'll find out where the post-game celebrations will be if it is indeed a win here for the U.S. women. Jill, a very good player in her own right and a goalie. Played for the U.S. from 2010 to 2014 and had a long career in WPS, the league before NWSL. Also coached a little bit with Sky Blue. Like I said, now covers the game. All right, Bumpy Pitch now, trailing 1-0. Both these teams have yet to taste defeat this week here in Cary, North Carolina. Taylor Suarez, her player to watch in the pregame. You may well see why soon. She's wearing the number 9.
Oh, beautifully done.
Suarez trying to pick out McCall Zerboni in the middle.
Yeah, Zerboni just like that near post run. It was there for her.
Yuki Nagasato. Beautiful ball across from the 2011 World Cup winner with Japan. That should have been an assist.
Yeah, I agree. It's beautifully sent in. A little bit of a knuckler. The run is there, just a little bit out of her reach. But this is the type of ball that you want in a space. You got to make the U.S. team work a little. I think they're starting to feel it out. But Yuki with a beautiful ball in.
Yeah, you mentioned that perhaps on average this Bumpy Pitch team, and we heard it from Jill Lloyden there as well, might be a little bit younger than U.S. women, but they do have some experienced players. You mentioned McCall Zerboni, a 4-time NWSL champ, 2-time NWSL best 11. Nagasato, 132 caps with Japan, played all over Europe and the NWSL. I mean, these are players with very serious footballing resumes who have already done it all.
Katie Johnson as well. I mean, when you have that type of experience and you complement it with the youth, and not just the youth, but the talented generation that they have, it's a good mixture, good combo.
Evelyn Shores clattered into from behind there, and she'll draw the foul. Of course, this is the first of 2 games here in Cary, North Carolina tonight. Coming up after this one, it's the men's championship. Pumas, that Alabama, taking on Bumpy Pitch men in a pretty good week here in Cary for the Bumpy Pitch brand. That one kicking off should be around 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, but everything's kind of TBD with the fact that we don't really know when these games are going to end due to target score time. And actually, we saw it yesterday, Herc, with the U.S. women. They went from 7-on-7 at the start of TST to 3-on-3. Now, Bumpy Pitch was a little bit more efficient when it came to target score time.
Oh, yeah.
Theirs did not last as long. But target score time can go and go and go. Ball bouncing around in front of the U.S. penalty area.
Oh, look at O'Reilly. You can see the experience there, anticipation.
Just about 3.5 minutes to go here in the first half at Wake Med Soccer Park. U.S. women who won this all last year, looking to do it again. Good touch from Kate Fossey there. Another player from that UNC team that won the College Cup in this building last fall.
If you saw Lindsay Harris there come up limp.
Boy, that would be a huge loss. We told you just how good she was in the semifinal. How good she was last year when this team won it all. On the ball now. Riley Krieger looks like she's...
Yeah, this is Lindsay Harris
maybe
right there.
Sub out, but...
Oh, she rolled that right ankle
Ouch.
right there. That's going to sting.
I was going to say our Allie Krieger here on a Monday, that should give her enough time, I guess, to get back into a decent broadcasting spot for Tuesday's Football W. Of course, a Football W great show you can catch every week on ESPN Plus Tuesday nights, covering all things in the women's game. Christina Alexander, Allie Krieger do a wonderful job. Shot deflected, headed towards the corner, kept in bounds. And the U.S. women fighting off an attack from Bumpy Pitch. Touch over the top. Carly Lloyd trying to get there, but it's Tegan Y first.
Yeah, Faith George right there, and it's Shea Harvey with the deflected shot. Some traffic in front of the U.S. women's goal. That's what you want. Gotta be more active. Make them work a little. Tessa De La Rose has some more though.
Yeah, we saw it last year. We're seeing it again this year. Top player for this U.S. women's team. Ball coming in from the side, cleared away. Falls to Kayla Mills. Mills had target score time winner in the semifinal for Bumpy Pitch against All Train FC. Mills, another one of the veterans in this group, 29 years of age. Played in France professionally, played in the NWSL with Sky Blue. There she is, number 18 on the ball. Suarez trying to work out of a double team, can't do so. Here come the U.S. women. Carly Lloyd in the middle. Oh, what a pass. Carly Lloyd on that left foot. Deflected out of bounds. That's a big-time defensive play from Amber Brooks.
Yeah, it's good transition from U.S. women. Kimball's going to get her head up outside the foot, beautifully played, and it's who you want in that exact moment. Big-time defensive play right there from Bumpy Pitch.
Yeah, that's Heather Gilchrist with the defensive play there. Another one of those Florida State Seminoles, U.S. under-20 stars. Just got over in time to deny one of the GOATs, Carly Lloyd. Seconds left here in the first half. Remember, we played 2 20-minute halves before setting the target score. Right now, the target score would be 2. Bumpy pitch would have to score 2 unanswered goals, and the U.S. women would need just 1 for the $1 million. There is the final whistle on the first half from Cary, North Carolina. Just 1 goal in it, but what a goal it was. Tessa Delarose, the diving header to put the U.S. women on top.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, someone who obviously...
Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of TST 2025. U.S. women leading Bumpy Pitch FC 1-0 at the half of our $1 million championship final. The U.S. women have no doubt been the stars of this tournament, at least on the women's side of the bracket. And earlier, our Alexis Nunez caught up with Heather O'Reilly to talk about the TST experience.
Obviously needs no introduction. Heather, you're joining me now. Brilliant tournament so far, seeing you guys go so deep as well. But I do have to ask you about last year, because it's not every day that you win $1 million in one tournament, even though I know you're used to some prize winnings. But I have to ask, what was the most interesting thing you did with those winnings?
Oh, well, last year was the Olympics in Paris, and so me and my husband, we went to Paris. We enjoyed ourselves. But, yeah, we have 2 little kids, William and Jack. So really, for us, that's really valuable prize money that we can put towards their savings and stuff like that. So shout out to RBC Wealth Management for stepping up for this tournament this year, because I know for a lot of people, including myself, that prize money is really useful and game-changing.
That's the great answer, the responsible answer. I was hoping to hear like a boat party or something. Yeah. But then, of course, we know that you do have responsibility. And speaking about your kids there too, but you've also been such an advocate for the women's game over the last couple of years. We've seen how much it has grown. Still a lot more growing to do. How do you see TST and RBC Wealth Management kind of fitting into that landscape and helping that landscape?
Yeah, listen, Champions League, Women's World Cup, different events throughout the world are growing, which is fantastic. And TST is one of them. I think think where TST differentiates himself is certainly the games themselves and the rules and things like that. And this is like a tournament for the people. I mean, I'm 40 years old and I can put a team together. I got my old teammates, Carly Lloyd, Ali Krieger. You know, we're not just professional players anymore. And so I think it really allows for a nice mix of young, maybe before they even started their pro career, and some older players. So that's where it's different. And I think TST has done something really special. But this game is growing. The Men's World Cup is coming to the U.S. next year. So it's just a great time for sports in our country, and especially women's sports in our country is really blowing up right now. So it's a really wise investment, I think, for people to put money, resources, time, energy, broadcast minutes to women's sports. So I love to see it.
Heather, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job from Alexis. Wonderful perspective there from one of the all-time greats, Heather O'Reilly. When we return, second half kickoff of the women's final. U.S. women on top, 1-0 over Bumpy pitch. Today's broadcast is presented by Coca-Cola, the official fan. Today's broadcast is presented by Coca-Cola, the official fan refreshment of TST. Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of TST 2025. We are seconds away from second half kickoff here in the $1 million championship final for the women. U.S. women leading 1-0, courtesy Tessa Della Rose, as we take a look at the first half stats brought to us by RBC Wealth Management. Herc, what do you make of the story there that the numbers tell us?
Pretty accurate. The U.S. has done very well possessing the ball and being more dangerous when they do go forward, being very vertical. A lot of good possession spells from Bumpy pitch, but not really dangerous.
We heard from Heather O'Reilly at halftime. Back leading this team for a second straight year. And sounds of it, her kids' college funds might be getting a boost if indeed the U.S. women can hold on and finish this thing out in target score time. Hercules Gomez, Sebastian Salazar, and Alexis Nunez with you here at Wake Med Soccer Park. Long ball in from Lindsay Harris, goalie for the U.S. team and one of a ton of players for this U.S. women's side that has a connection, in her case past, but many present as well, to the University of North Carolina. What many would tell you is the epicenter of the women's game, at least in this country. Great college program that was the base of the national team in its early days. And Tanucci to Nagasato. Lays it off. Bumpy pitch looking for that equalizer. Well read there from Evelyn Shores.
Now Seb, Tegan Wise staring right into the sun. Bumpy pitch didn't make Harris work. U.S. women, they mind distance. Something to be mindful of.
It was really pronounced yesterday. I don't know if the sun is quite as bright as it was certainly for the earlier games yesterday, but yeah, it could be a factor for sure. A factor Harris doesn't have to deal with here at the opposite end. Nagasato working against Heather O'Reilly. Those two have surely had many battles over the years, international and club level. Long ball in. Faith George giving chase. She's managed to keep possession for Bumpy pitch. Can they turn it into a goal? They certainly need one. Ball comes across for Katie Johnson. Katie Johnson on her feet. Inches away from getting a shot off, but couldn't do so.
Katie Fossey right there. Just the slightest of nudges does enough. Makes Katie Johnson lose her balance. See it right there. Good ball in. Low, hard-driven ball. Squeezes in and just enough. Just enough to make Katie Johnson feel uncomfortable.
There's Bella Debbie, the youngster we talked about so much in the first half. Can she get going? 2 goals and 2 assists so far. Ball bouncing dangerously towards the Bumpy pitch area. Now back at the other end of the field. Ooh, nervy miscommunication there between Whitehill and Harris. O'Reilly battling in there against Gianna Riley. Riley, part of the under-20 team. One of the Florida Staters here. Whoa! Shades of, and this is going way back, 1998 World Cup qualifying for the U.S. Our colleague Casey Keller hammering into the head of Mexican international Carlos Hermosillo at Foxborough Stadium, and it ends up in the goal. Almost happened here for Bumpy pitch.
Yeah. Well,
you remember that?
Of course I remember that.
I'm sure Casey remembers.
Casey would like you to forget that. Yeah.
Casey's a good guy.
And just unnecessarily playing it out of the back. Sometimes it's good to draw the opponent, but when you're that close to your goal, you need to be sure, you need to be certain. You can't take that type of risk.
Yeah, dangerous moment there from Lindsay Harris, almost giving one away. Instead, Bumpy pitch looks like they'll have to earn it. As we mentioned, good week here in Cary for the Bumpy pitch brand. Their men's team will be playing in the final at 8:30 against Pumas de Alabama. For those that have been around American soccer for a while, you probably have heard of Bumpy pitch. Maybe you've worn some of their clothing. I might want one of these jerseys, Herc.
Oh, I got one.
Right? They got some nice kits here at TST. Ball into Johnson. Johnson working back to goal. Katie Fossey there. Comes away with it. Drops it for Kenny Kessler. Kessler can only half clear. This could be dangerous. Johnson on the end line.
Oh, good ball.
Fossey effective one-time clearance, so it's still bouncing around the top of the area. Ooh, well-hit shot. But it's straight at Harris, who does not give up a rebound. Good thing she didn't, because Johnson was there lurking.
Yeah, Johnson's doing very well being in and around the box. There's a lot of fighting going on right here. It's a rebound for Gianna Riley. Gianna Riley doesn't even think twice about it. She knows where she wants to go.
Chance here for the U.S. Olivia Thomas with the left foot off target. Bumpy pitch can breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, that's the thing about the U.S. women. You could have a good run of spell in possession, but they're so quick in transition. It's Route 1 football. When you have a player like Olivia Thomas there, you have to be mindful.
U.S. playing the ball in, but quickly turning over. Ali Krieger in there doing the defensive work. Here comes Thomas. Such a handful physically. They can't take the ball off her. Mana Shim. Oh, what a silky through ball there, right across. And Bumpy pitch clears. U.S. women now starting to turn up the heat. What a tournament it's been for Mana Shim. 4 goals and 1 assist already. Good time to remind you to visit soccer.com. They're the official store of the soccer tournament. Got a great setup here, some cool TST gear. Might stop by on the way out of here.
Do they sell extra small?
I knew it was coming. Alex Kimball applying the pressure in the 47 shirt here for the U.S. women. She goes to ground, and this will be Bumpy pitch ball. 6 minutes into the second half. We'll play 20 in the second half, and then we will set the target score. Right now it would be 2, and that's all the U.S. women would need to take home the $1 million. See if Bumpy pitch can write a different ending than the one we had in 2024. Kayla Mills into the match, but Krieger's going to beat her to it. Boy, Della Rose so good in tight pockets. Just a beautiful turn. Yelka Brown battling down there with Olivia Thomas. Ball last touched by Thomas, so it'll be a goal kick here for Bumpy pitch. Tegan Y, Cal Golden Bear to put it back in play. Taylor Suarez. Nice touch for Mills. The give and go is on. Suarez keeps it in bounds. Foul here going the other way.
Yeah.
So Ali Krieger in the United States will take over.
A little bit of a horse collar action. You can see Taylor Suarez, the idea, back to goal, delicate little flick, looking for the give and go. It's more of that Bumpy pitch needs, excuse me. Keep the U.S. women moving.
Who goes up for the challenge there, so does Della Rose, but it'll be Bumpy pitch ball. 8 minutes in to the second half here at Wake Met Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. Things seem calm now, but soon they'll be anything but as we hit target score time with $1 million on the line. Kirk, you've scored some big goals in your life, but never one that won you $1 million, right?
No, not $1 million. I'll tell you what, though, it'd be pretty sweet.
Yep. We played the clip from last year, the beginning of the show, and you could see the emotion. Not just from the youngsters who are at their beginning of their careers, but from the veterans who have already achieved so much. Winning a tournament like this and the cash prize that comes with it, no doubt extra special. Bumpy pitch one in on that action. Working the ball here into Nagasato. Shim clears for Casey Lloyd. Bella Devi. So much hype around this player. Fouled in a pretty dangerous spot here for the U.S. women.
Devi does so well. Controls the ball. Goes one way, dips the shoulder, comes the other. Drives through the heart. You can see her intention. She's trying to be vertical. She's trying to be strong. Yeah, Heather Gilchrist just comes through it right there.
Casey Lloyd with a goal on the tournament. She's standing over this free kick.
Are you allowed to yellow card?
Michelle Akers?
Michelle Akers?
No, they got to put that in the rules for TST next year. You cannot give the original GOAT of women's football in this country a yellow card.
If you're on the Mount Rushmore, you should be exempt from a yellow card.
Come on. All right, again, very dangerous spot here. Let's see what the approach is from Casey Lloyd. Lasers it. But just a little too much on that one as it goes well over the bar.
Yeah. You were asking about the approach, Seb. I don't think there was any doubt in her mind. She was going to shoot from that distance.
This U.S. women's team has been pretty effective on set pieces. You'll remember in the semifinal yesterday, Kat Whitehill came down on a corner kick and actually helped set up a pretty big goal. Can the U.S. women find a second? Here, Golazo! Casey Lloyd, her second goal of the tournament, and the U.S. women are in control, 2-0.
Oh, it's beautifully done. Allie Long right there steals the ball. Then it's Bella Debbie, and Debbie, the composure to find Casey Lloyd, and Casey Lloyd, put it where you want. Just shelves it. Tegan White can do nothing about that. She's left on an island. It's a bullet, gets a hand on it, it won't matter.
Casey Lloyd's second goal of the tournament. For Bella Debbie, her third assist. How about that pass, Herc?
Yeah, Allie Long, just so intelligent. Plays it at Bella Debbie, and then just Debbie, the composure. Knows exactly where the run's supposed to be. Puts it right there. It's half the battle.
Long, one of those U.S. national team veterans, part of the 2019 team that won the World Cup. Carly Lloyd looking for the through ball there. Instead, McCall Zerboni comes away with it as Lloyd crashes to the ground. And Tanucci spinning away. That's Sophie Wynn, excuse me. Gianna Riley draws the attention of two. Nagasato losing out to Whitehill. Lloyd trying to hold possession. Big challenge, double team, and Zerboni comes away with it. Lloyd frustrated, but she does, in the end, get the call.
Yeah, it looks like right into her. Sophia Wynn just
little pick and roll.
Yeah, a little pick and roll, but she comes up with the shoulder. Carly Lloyd takes exception to that. Sure, it's not the first time it's happened to her, but doesn't feel good.
Lindsay Harris to put it back in play. 8 minutes to go in regulation. Right now, the target score would be 3. U.S. want to add another. Bumpy pitch. Don't want this to get too out of hand before we hit TST. Ball. Great ball. Can Johnson get there? No. Harris quickly off her line and rolls it out for Whitehill.
It's a beautiful idea right there from Gianna Riley. You can see Riley put her hand up just a little too much. But the idea is there. Ball in. Beautifully brought down. Left-footed. Tried to thread the needle. Just a little bit out of Katie Johnson's path.
Johnson in the box, so is Wynn. Can they get service? No, denied by Kenny Kessler. Bumpy pitch. Pressing for an opener. Gianna Riley got a good hold of that one, but nowhere near the intended target.
Yeah, Gianna Riley, the bumpy pitch star player. She's coming to life right now.
Riley off, Taylor Suarez on. Those are the two big guns here for bumpy pitch. Suarez breaking towards the goal. Johnson on the ball. Johnson clips it ahead. Suarez somehow manages to keep it in. Ball into the area for Sophie Wynn. That's got to be a foul. Pretty obvious call there. Yeah. Thomas nearly wrestled to the ground, and going into the book, it'll be Genesee Puntingham for bumpy pitch.
Yeah, Genesee knows that she can't compete right there when it comes to the physical ability. Just pulls her down, trying to slow Olivia Thomas somehow, some way. Doing anything to make sure the big forward doesn't get away from her.
Told you Thomas was a handful. There's your visual proof. And as you might expect in a game with $1 million on the line, things starting to get chippy. We've seen more yellows here in the second half. 6 minutes to go before the end of regulation as Krieger plays it forward, intercepted by Zerboni. Zerboni driving at the U.S. defense. She herself had a handful of caps with the U.S. women's national team during an illustrious playing career. Now going against some of those teammates. Zerboni first to it. Krieger now knocks it forward. Neither team really enjoying possession. Finally, bumpy pitch taken over here. Headed towards the final 5 minutes of regulation. Bumpy pitch don't need a goal, but they could sure use one. For those wondering, we have seen incredible comebacks in target score time. Remember All Train FC, they're the team that lost to Bumpy Pitch in the semifinal in the first game of the tournament. Ooh! Dangerous shot there, draws a save from Lindsay Harris.
Oh, Katie Johnson, where did that come from? She's looking for the pass and just sneaks it. Ali Krieger screening the goalkeeper, and Harris does beautifully to get that wide.
Talking about comebacks, her All Train FC down 4-0 against Wrexham heading into target score time and scored 5 unanswered. McCall Zerboni there at the back post. Opportunity missed for Bumpy Pitch.
Yeah, McCall Zerboni's going to want that one back. Wide open, just kind of whiffs it with the left foot, doesn't create good contact.
Long touch from Krieger, out of bounds. Bumpy Pitch really turning up that high press. They need turnovers. They need those turnovers to result in attacking chances. There's one, but Lindsay Harris up to the task as she makes yet another big save.
Yeah, as she did in the semifinal. She's been massive in this game. When called upon, Lindsay Harris has been there. I repeat, the reason the U.S. women are in this final.
Huge couple minutes coming up. If it stays 2-0, it's still reasonably close, headed to target score time. If the U.S. could add a third or even a fourth, you got to think this might be game over. But if Bumpy Pitch could add a goal, maybe 2, things would be very, very interesting headed to target score time. Again, if we're tied heading to target score time, then we're adding 1 to both teams. So it effectively becomes like an NHL playoff game there. Sudden death. Could you imagine sudden death hurt for $1 million? Woo. Golden goal. U.S. turning the ball over here with 3 minutes left to play. Zerboni starting to push forward. Now checks back to the ball. Clever little touch for Mills. Delarose somehow comes away with it, just plays it out of bounds. U.S. looking to keep the clean sheet as we approach target score time. Antonucci, the shot deflected. That's why Harris was trying to keep it in. Taylor Suarez, the quick corner. Gets it back from Antonucci. Suarez, no angle. Ball flicked up and over the goal. Another corner kick coming for Bumpy Pitch.
Yeah, Antonucci and Taylor Suarez look for each other. Good no-look pass to Suarez from Antonucci.
Corner kick on, but Suarez is going off. Gianna Riley coming on late. Oh, physical collision there right at the goal line. Harris goes down. She wanted a foul. She didn't get it. The ball cleared off the line anyway, and the U.S. lives to fight another day.
All right, the strong ball in from Antonucci is a bit of a deflection right there, and Harris goes in trying to battle with
Heather Gilchrist.
Yeah, and Gilchrist, and that's a clean play. Nothing
no
to
foul
it.
there for you.
No foul.
Okay. Hey, did you see who cleared it off the line?
I did not.
The same player that scored the opening goal of this game, Tessa Delarose, doing it at both ends for the U.S. women.
She's everywhere.
Delarose and Casey Lloyd, the 2 goal scorers here for the team in dark blue. Kate Fossey ahead for Lloyd. Casey Lloyd working 2-on-1. Keeps possession. Dangerous cross to the back post. Big header win there from Bumpy Pitch. Sophia Wynn lofts it forward. Gianna Riley volley. Across the box. She did not miss by much. It'll go out.
We've seen it in this tournament. Gianna Riley's just so strong in the air. Not many headers she's going to miss or not win. And then just so vertical, just driven, goal-oriented, always looking to be dangerous. She's just a special player.
Seconds left here in regulation. Just about 45 ticks on the clock to go. Ball lofted into the U.S. penalty area. Racing out to gather Lindsay Harris. Does the U.S. have another goal in them? Heather O'Reilly trying to send it forward. Ball out of bounds. Still belongs to the United States. Team representing the greatest international squad of all time. Bella Debbie herself may have a future with the U.S. women's national team wearing that number 7. Fires the shot goalward and out of bounds for a corner kick.
Yeah, it's a strong turn. Creates separation from her defender. Beautiful save by Keegan White.
U.S. looking for a buzzer beater. Low corner. This one will be cleared away by Bumpy Pitch. And there it is, the final whistle on regulation here in the second half. And we are headed to target score time here in Cary, North Carolina, with $1 million at stake. U.S. women versus Bumpy pitch when we return on ESPN. This soccer tournament is presented by Adidas, the official fanwear and performance footwear partner of TST. Chris Paul, one of the founders of TST, in attendance here in Cary, North Carolina, watching the Women's Championship final as we head to target score time. We'll be hearing from him in just a little bit in between this final and the upcoming Men's Championship, which should kick off right around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. For those of you new to this, let's explain what target score time is. At the end of regulation, target score time is set. It's set by adding 1 goal to the total for the team that's in the lead. So right now the U.S. women are in the lead, 2-0. That means the target score becomes 3. First to target score wins, and this is where it gets really interesting, Herc, and we saw this yesterday, specifically in the semifinal for the U.S. women. Every 3 minutes, 1 player comes off. So we'll start at 7 versus 7. But in the case of the U.S. women yesterday, their semifinal against Reunion City, Dallas, they finished that 3 versus 3, and it is incredibly physically taxing.
Yeah, physically taxing, which is why you asked me before the game when we did the FC hit who I thought had the advantage. I said Bumpy pitch. They didn't do this yesterday. They didn't have to do grueling 3v3, 4v4, 5v5, 2-0 lead. But it's very dangerous if it's the team that has legs.
U.S. women, of course, the defending champs. They beat the team that they beat this year in the quarterfinal, Street Ball Canada, last year to win it all. On the men's side, this is year 3 of the tournament. La Bombonera, who were again in the tournament this year, won it in 2024. And Newtown Pride FC, who won it all in the first year. They were back again this year and back in the knockout rounds. The goal so far in this game for the U.S. women from Tessa Dela Rose and Casey Lloyd. The clean sheet courtesy of that player right there, Lindsay Harris, who has been awesome for the U.S. women tonight throughout this tournament. She is the Golden Glove winner from TST 2024. I'd say leader in the clubhouse to win that honor again here in 2025. Bumpy pitch going route 1 to start things off here in target score time. Quick shot, Harris with the smooth save.
Yeah, just so trustworthy. That's the great thing about having a goalkeeper like Harris. You know that type of play, you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, look at the press here from Bumpy pitch. 2 players there closing in on Kate Fossey, and one of them goes down holding that left knee. You hate to see that. We've been fortunate so far, at least in our coverage of this tournament, Herc, we haven't seen too many injuries.
Yeah, it's Ajeto right there. Let's... Oh, you gotta be careful. Yeah,
that left knee looks like, or left leg at least. And Ajeto's been really oppressive. Ryder Ajeto throughout this tournament. 3 goals and 1 assist for the Florida State commit. Again, one of those players who's maybe just out of, but still, you know, technically a high school player, a teenager playing with some of the best players in the history of the game. And you can only feel concerned from her now as she gets worked on by the medical staff for Bumpy pitch.
Yeah, you hate to see this.
So just to set the scene here as we hope for the best there for Ryder Ajeto, we are just about 90 seconds into target score time here at TST 2025. Not just any target score time, but target score time of the Women's Championship Final. And so the next goal here, Herc, for the U.S. women is worth $1 million. That's not the case for Bumpy Pitch, right? They got a mountain to climb here. They're going to have to score 3 unanswered to win it all. So they're going to have to be aggressive, but they can't, Herc, be too aggressive because you leave yourself open, and it's just 1 goal that the U.S. women need to end this thing.
Yeah, let's see how Bumpy Pitch FC will be. They look visibly shaken with Ajeto still down, how they react. Bit of time to organize if you're Bumpy Pitch FC, the U.S. women.
You know, I'm thinking back to the semifinal yesterday, Herc, the U.S. women taking on Reunion City Dallas, and that was a similar situation. It was only 1-0 when we got to target score time. But if you think about it, I think the approach from Reunion City Dallas was very much, even though we're behind, let's not necessarily push. Let's let this target score time kind of drag on, so we get this veteran team playing an afternoon game in the heat down to 4-on-4, 3-on-3. And even though it finished 2-0 and Union City Dallas didn't get a goal, they came close. They were definitely wearing down the U.S. women. I wonder if Bumpy Pitch, 1, being fresher, because their semifinal didn't last as long, but 2, having seen that from Reunion City Dallas, might take a similar approach here once we get back underway. You see the scenes there. Yeah. We just wish the best for Ryder Ajeto. She's in pain, obviously. Looked like a left leg injury. We'll just leave it at that. This is a super, super talented player. Has had a great tournament. 3 goals and an assist, like I said, headed to FSU. We just wish her all the best as we get back underway here in Cary, North Carolina. Quick ball into the penalty area. Bumpy Pitch playing on without Ajeto. Will that be a source of inspiration? Ball to the back post. They're looking for Gianna Riley. Why wouldn't you? She's got 5 goals already in this tournament. Remember, we're just 1 strike away from the U.S. winning. Nobody would be surprised if it was Bella Devi that either scored that tournament-winning goal or provided the assist on it. She's been so good throughout, the player wearing the number 7 here for U.S. women.
One player away from each team. We are now down to 6 versus 6. Target score is 3.
There you heard it from the PA announcer. We go from 7 versus 7 to 6 versus 6. $1 million on the line. Next goal for the U.S. women wins it.
Oh, interesting. The U.S. women opting for more experienced players in the 6 versus 6.
It'll be Heather Gilchrist. Florida Stater in her own right to put this one in play. All driven into the U.S. end. Sophie Wynn down there to keep possession, and now it scampers out of play on the opposite end. U.S. to take over deep in their own territory. Ali Krieger. Great ball in. Kessler shot to the near post. Didn't get all of it. We know Tegan Wise, a very good goalie. Had a great under-20 World Cup, played every minute for the U.S. team last fall, and she makes the easy save there. Target score time, TST 2025, Women's Championship match, $1 million on the line. Could this be the attack that ends it? Olivia Thomas wanted the ball, but gets clipped from behind. Kessler now working one-on-one against Gilchrist. Kessler on that left foot. Shot takes the deflection. Delarose first to it. Will keep through Krieger. Ali Krieger, part of the 2015-2019 teams that won the World Cup for the senior national team. Also a part of this U.S. side last year that won it all. Krieger pushing in to the attacking end. A rare foray forward for our colleague.
Staying with a much younger defender, wins herself a corner kick.
Oh, what a ball from Krieger across the goal mouth. Uh-oh. Delarose almost a touch. Now it's going the other way. Gianna Riley slammed to the turf by Olivia Thomas.
tell you what, it's a good tactical foul by Olivia Thomas. Gianna Riley is off to the races with a player coming to her right-hand side. Olivia Thomas says, nope, can't let this happen.
The yellow card shown, the U.S. women's number 33, Olivia Thomas.
Thomas going in the books, but with $1 million up for grabs, it may well be worth it. Set piece coming for Bumpy Pitch women. Their counterparts, the Bumpy Pitch men, will be playing in short order here in the men's championship game against Pumas de Alabama. Just about 30 seconds left here at 6v6. Long ball forward for the United States, doesn't find Kessler. Debbie scrapping for it. Della Rose on the ball, this could be dangerous. Della Rose across! Kessler there, just needed the touch. And the celebrations would have been on.
Yeah, Tessa Della Rose just knows exactly what she wants to do. She's driving forward, great ball across. Kessler just can't get there, can't get a toe on it. But again, dangerous to U.S. women.
Gianna Riley fighting for every possession. There it is. Another whistle and another player leaves the pitch from 7v7 to 6v6. Now down to 5 versus 5 on a field built for 7 versus 7. This game is about to open up, and again, the next goal for the U.S. women is worth $1 million. Harris challenge, knocks it down. This could be trouble. Oh! Harris made a mess of it at first, but then totally redeemed herself.
Oh, beautiful done.
To swat it away. Here comes Bumpy Pitch again. George driving at Debbie, and Debbie wins the one-on-one. Antonucci, one of the high school phenoms that has shown so brightly in this tournament. George now. Her cross blocked. Here's Carly Lloyd. Does well to keep the ball for U.S. women. Shore's on it. 1 assist so far in this tournament.
U.S. women very dangerously out of the back.
Debbie with space to run. Not something you want to deal with. If you're an opposing defender, Carly Lloyd going from distance. Hit it well, but did miss.
Harris here. Watch Antonucci right here. Harris is going to say she took one to the face for Antonucci. Completely incidental, but Harris again being just so brave in front of goal.
I mean, you rarely get a goalie that's out of breath, but after the semifinal 3-on-3, when Alexis Nunez interviewed Lindsay Harris, she was out of breath. She's going to be well beat up after this one as well, but you know it'll be worth it if they take home that $1 million check.
Oh, yeah.
90 seconds left here at 5-on-5. If we make it down to 4v4, look out, this is going to get crazy. As Bumpy Pitch whistles one well wide here in target score time. Bumpy Pitch need 3 unanswered. The U.S. women just won. They won it all last year in a final against Street Ball Canada, who they beat this year in the quarters. Harris playing with fire there, but does earn the foul.
Antonucci doesn't mind getting a little physical. High school player or not. She wants the smoke sub.
Gotta love that. We mentioned in the first half some youth national team experience as well with the United States, so a name to remember there, Scotty Antonucci. Uh-oh, here comes Carly Lloyd. She scores a big goal before! And she nearly did it again. Tegan Y coming up with the game-saving stop.
It's a good save by Tegan Y. But how many times have you seen Carly Lloyd do this throughout her career? Game winner, looming game winner. Tegan Y comes up big.
08 Olympics, 2012 Olympics, 2015 World Cup final. Every big stage, Carly Lloyd has done it. She'd like to add TST 2025 to that list. The great. Oh, she went for the Megs, but the door was closed by Taylor Suarez. Now Suarez looks to lead the Bumpy Pitch attack. This feels more like a basketball call now than soccer commentary as we go back and forth. Y sends it forward. Gilchrist. Back for the Bumpy pitch goalie. Target scored time. Bumpy pitch needs 3. They got to get going soon. Taylor Suarez to the back post. Gilchrist pokes it to the penalty area. Whistle blown. And fortunately for the U.S. women, the call is going their way.
Oh, interesting call. It's a bad touch right there from Gilchrist. And ooh,
yeah, they got it right. Lloyd kind of clattered into there from behind, so it'll be U.S. ball. Because of the delay there, we are still at 4 versus 4.
Shimon goal now.
Interesting move here from the United States. We saw them do this in yesterday's semifinal, but very briefly. And again, it was actually Lindsay Harris that had the game-winning assist. But Mana Shimon is on now as an extra attacker. Ball across. Big-time play from Katie Johnson. Just pokes it away from Evelyn Shores. Shores was knocking on the door there of a tournament winner. Here's Della Rose. Della Rose. Shores. No! The tournament, and what a time to deliver!
That's $1 million, Seb. $1 million straight to the bank. Evelyn Shores, probably not used to scoring goals. No goals she was scoring in her life, probably bigger than this.
And of course, on top of the $1 million, Evelyn is going to take home the Golden Fleece, courtesy of Adidas. We've handed out quite a few Golden Fleeces throughout this tournament so far, but none bigger than that one, because that one, Hurt, is worth $1 million, and so is this goal.
Well, it's the play from Della Rose right there. The anticipation. Look how smart.
No, it's Heather O'Reilly.
Oh, it's Heather O'Reilly.
I botched it on the call. Heather O'Reilly and Tessa Della Rose actually look very, very similar in their movement styles. It was Heather O'Reilly that picks out Shores, and Shores with the great touch.
You can't buy heart. You can't buy experience. You have to be there. You have to live it. Heather O'Reilly intercepts the ball, gets her head up. She's waiting for the run. And Evelyn Shores finishes it off. Ridiculous play by Heather O'Reilly, but Evelyn Shores, $1 million.
And of course, we heard from Alexis Nunez, who talked to Heather O'Reilly, and how much work Heather has put into this team. Very fitting then that she should get not just the game-winning assist in the final, but the tournament-winning and $1 million clinching goal. Let's send it down field side now with Alexis Nunez. Alexis?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Evelyn Shores, remember the name, the $1 million goal. Please walk me through how you're feeling right now.
I feel so surreal. It was such a team effort. This has just been so fun all around, and I'm so glad I could help us win it.
I mean, what's it been like playing with some absolute legends, having them assist you as well? That would put some pressure at least on me, but you handle it like a boss.
Yeah, they've been great this entire week, like just getting us in the team, making us feel comfortable. It's amazing with their experience on the field. It makes us feel more like relaxed and comfortable in these big moments just because they've had experience, and yeah, it's been great.
Well, I have to ask you now, of course, the most important... Okay, well, we both got wet there, but what are you going to do with your share of the $1 million?
I don't know. Save it. We'll see.
Smart answer. Thanks, Evelyn.
The hazards of sideline reporting there for Alexis Nunez. Great job. We're all signing autographs. When we return, we're handing out the check and the trophy. This is TST 2025. Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of TST 2025, where the U.S. women, and stop me if you've heard this before, have just successfully defended their crown. This time at TST, where the winning team gets $1 million. The final score in this championship match, U.S. women 3, Bumpy pitch women nothing. Alongside Hercules Gomez, I'm Sebastian Salazar from Wake Med Soccer Park here in Cary, North Carolina. We're awaiting the presentation of that big check and also the tournament trophy here in North Carolina. You see the U.S. women gathered down on the field. You also see Chris Paul hanging out there, ready to hand out some hardware. Let's send it down to the field now with our good friend and colleague, Alexis Nunez. Alexis?
Yes, indeed. And they have only gone and done it. The U.S. women with the double, their second consecutive title of the TST. And they've done it in the most dominant fashion. I have to have a word with tournament founder Jonathan Mugar, who I'm sure absolutely enjoyed that.
Yeah, on behalf of TST, we want to wish U.S. women much success. Congratulations, Heather, for a repeat championship. It's yours again.
It's hers again, indeed. And we have to, of course, thank our sponsors. We have a sponsor here from RBC Wealth Management to give us a nice word.
Yes. RBC Wealth Management is so proud to support TST in expanding the women's event and, importantly, ensuring equal prize for the women. So, on behalf of all of my colleagues, I am proud to hand over this huge check to the U.S. women's team. Congratulations.
Now let's talk to someone who is definitely no stranger to winning a milli, because she's done it twice. Heather O'Reilly. Heather, how does this one feel?
I mean, amazing. Obviously, last year was special, and this is a new group. This is a new family. We really owe a lot to Kendall Fletcher-White. She's having a baby. In a few weeks, and she really led us to this. So everybody, well done. It was a team victory from staff to players and everybody, family and friends that's had to listen to us talk about TST for 365 days since last year. But a real team win. Well done, you guys. And thank you. Bumpy pitch. Great game. Chris Paul, you're the man. And let's do it again next year.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Women's TST Champions, the U.S. Women!
All right, Herc, they did it in 2024, and they backed it up again here in 2025. What'd you make of the performance that we've witnessed here over the last couple days from this U.S. women's team?
You know, I really thought with the heat, with the fatigue, with the toll they took yesterday in the semifinal, that they couldn't bring it like they did yesterday. They couldn't find it, and yet they did. You could never count out the U.S. women, much like they've done throughout their whole career. Winning is a habit, Seb. This is what they're used to.
What a run it was for the U.S. women, beating Street Ball Canada in the quarterfinals. That was a rematch of last year's championship game. They won that one 5-2. Goals from Mana Shim, Carly Lloyd, Casey Lloyd, Kenny Kessler, and Olivia Thomas. They followed that up with a victory in the semifinals, 2-0 over Reunion City, Dallas. Bella Devi and Tessa Della Rose, the goal scorers in that one. And then finishing things off here with a 3-0 victory over Bumpy Pitch in the final. Tessa Della Rose, Casey Lloyd, and finally Evelyn Shores with the target score time, game winner, tournament winner, $1 million goal for the U.S. women's team that was gamefully led throughout by Heather O'Reilly, who provided the tournament clinching assist. A script only Hollywood could write. For Hercules Gomez, I'm Sebastian Salazar. Thanks so much for watching the women's final, but don't go far. We're back with more from TST right around the corner.